All right. So next up, we're going to talk about how do we vet, or how do you as a seller vet a we buy houses type business? So you've probably seen on the internet or maybe in a sign, we buy houses cash, any condition. How do you vet those companies? How do you know if they're legitimate to work with? So what we've put together here is a list of questions that you can ask them, basically to find out what they're going to be like to work with. Now, are they all sketchy and all rip people off? No, but you do need to be aware that there are plenty of companies out there doing really sketchy things and leading home sellers down a path that's going to be bad for them. So, how do you protect yourself and your family from companies like this? Well, here's a list of questions that you can ask right here to those. And we're going to go through these and give you examples of them to understand, if they're going to be good to work with or not. So, how do you help your clients? If you ask that question and the person you're talking to doesn't jump into story after story of people with real names and real situations of how they've helped their clients, let that be a red flag to you. If the person you're talking to maybe is just a salesperson who, nothing against salespeople, but doesn't actually know the process, chances are the people who actually interact with the company are going to get passed around from one department to another. When we work with a client, we often know the names of their pets. Like we are involved because it's just a very personal transaction. Your home is a very personal thing. So making sure that they have a laundry list of ways they help. Other services, I won't take that from point number 3, but Nathan, keep going with this list
Yeah,
on
yeah.
what questions they should ask.
Well, and question number 2 could be, what do you do for people? Or another way you could rephrase that is, tell me about a time that you helped a client that was like me, right?
Right.
So if you can get a legitimate your cash buyer talking about people that are like you, that they've bought properties from or that they've helped out, that can be really powerful in giving you and help vetting them. It's like reviews, but it's and you'll get those emotional cues if the stories they're telling are legit, or if that question throws them off, then they don't have hundreds of stories of people they've helped or worked with, then
Yep.
it's probably time to move on.
Totally. Can you tell me more about your services? So if they are just talking about, hey, we just want to give you a cash offer on your home, they're pushing you basically to work with them really hard. If it sounds like, this is the only thing they do is basically secure contracts or get houses under contract, that's a red flag. If someone is an investor or, a cash buyer who this is their full-time thing, this is what they do, they're not going to be in such a rush because they know it takes time. It takes time to build rapport and trust. They're going to have, real estate in general just takes a while to do every single transaction. There's a lot to it. So, if it doesn't sound like they do other services, for example, um, we've talked about on other videos, if our clients need help moving, okay, we can help pay for moving. If they need something built to where they're going to where they can access it because they're handicapped, we can help do that. If their home is in complete disrepair and they don't have the ability to clean it up, we can do that. So if the person you're talking to isn't solutions focused, if they're not focused on finding out what your problems are and then helping you solve them, they might not actually be a very legitimate company to work with. They might be more just focused on getting your house secured, which again should be a red flag.
That's
What's
right.
another one we got here?
Another great question could be, hey, what part of your business makes you the proudest? I love this one. Number
Mm,
4 there.
mm.
They should be able to spout off really quick. That question should make the person on the other side of the phone really excited to share some stories with you. If they're not sure, maybe you give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's a new salesperson or something like that. But they should be able to tell you stories of aspects of their business that make them proud. In our situation, our business is called Living Well, and that is not only because we want you to live well, but the next person who lives in that house to live well. And we use a portion of all of our proceeds on our renovations to help dig wells in countries where clean water is needed. And so we're really proud of all of those aspects of our business, and we can tell you many stories about it. So just ask, what aspect of your business makes you the proudest?
Awesome. Another question you can ask is, how would you describe your investment philosophy? if they kind of stammer and stutter and we buy houses and maybe they don't have a lot of experience, maybe they're nervous, but they should know, okay, yeah, absolutely. So this is what we do. We buy houses and sometimes they need renovations. So we'll do what's called a fix and flip. So we'll flip the house after doing the extensive renovation and then we'll put it on the open market. We'll sell it to a new family, or sometimes we'll buy and hold. If they don't have a bunch of different ways that they are going to conduct their business, they're going to take a property and then do what's called disposition it, or, okay, we're investing this money. How are we going to get our money back out? There's a lot of different ways to do that in real estate. And if they don't have a clear answer for that, that could be something that tips you off as well. You want to take the
Right.
last one?
Yeah. How can I know that you'll close on my house when you say you will? This
That's
is
a big
huge.
one.
And I'm gonna add 2 bonus questions to this. Question 1. What is your inspection period? Is it 5 days, 10 days, 3 days, 30 days, 45 days? If all they intend to do is wholesale or not actually buy your house, but actually just resell or assign the contract, then they're going to probably be looking for a 30 or 45-day inspection period. That's a red flag. It's reasonable to ask for a 5, 10, or 15-day inspection period. Another question that you can ask to know if they'll close on your house when they say you will is you can ask for a robust earnest money down and for a proof of funds. So proof of funds is usually used in retail purchases when they're on market. But if you're selling to an off-market investor, cash buyer, or flipper, you can also ask them for a proof of funds. This can come as a letter. This can come as a screenshot of their bank accounts. But basically, you're saying, show me in the next couple of days here before we get to the closing table that you can actually close. Show me the money that you can close on this transaction. And we've talked in other videos about earnest money down, but 1% of the purchase price is pretty usual in the Pacific Northwest. If it's a few $1,000s, you're probably you're in the right spot. If they're offering you $50 to $100 for earnest money down, that doesn't show a lot of earnest intent to close on the property.
That's right. That's right. And something I would just remind you guys of is you have a lot of control. So you are the property owner. Don't be bullied or positioned, or even if someone has more understanding or knowledge than you still own the property. You are in control and remain there. You don't need to be flustered or pushed out of control because someone has an agenda and they're trying to get you to do something. So just remember, you can ask any question you want. You can ask for any kind of documentation you want. And the more you ask for and the more you show, hey, I really want to make sure you're someone who's doing legitimate work, that won't bother them. They'll go, okay, no problem, because they'll have it. We have all that documentation. We have all that proof of funds. We have all these things because we need it in our normal everyday work. If that puts someone kind of on edge or puts them on a back foot and go, well, why do you need that? And they get hostile. Again, something you want to watch out for and go, okay, maybe this isn't the right person to do business with. So I hope that helps with how you can vet these kind of we buy houses companies and to figure out if they're legit or not. We'll see you on the next one.